What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Ascension Mysteries by David Wilcock, revealing the cosmic battle between good and evil. I got this book 2017, the year I graduated. I believe my mom bought it for me, and I read like the first couple. I remember it vividly. I read like the first couple chapters. I'm like, dang, this book is like, this book is. I'm kind of like, what's the word? I don't want to say attracted, but like it's like you just like vibing with the book. You like it just gives you like good vibes. Damn, it just gives you like good vibes. So I was reading the book the first time I read it. I didn't read it all the way, but I read like the first couple chapters, and I was fucking with it. And then for some reason, it just got a little too. My mind wasn't open enough for it, and that's what it was. Which is surprised because I grew up on like Dragon Ball Z, like aliens, outer space, Dragon Ball Z, like, I'm trying to think of another good example. Ratchet and Clank, Dragon Ball Z, Ratchet and Clank. I can't, but that's enough. But basically, with Dragon Ball Z, it's like aliens from outer space. They come to Earth, and there's all these different planets and different types of aliens. And Ratchet and Clank, you're traveling through the multiverse, going through different planets and things like that. So I'm surprised that I grew up on things like that. But when I read the book, it was just like too much for me. I guess I wasn't open to like that stuff being real. But now that fast forward 4 years later, my mind's a lot more open to those things. And I believe like everything you see on TV, any thought you have, like that has to be real. Like, how would you know what Ascension is unless somebody showed you, taught you, or you ascended, Like how would somebody know what a parallel universe is unless they were shown it, taught it, or went to it, So that's how I think of things. But rereading this book 4 years later, and I'm mad I didn't read it all the way through the first time, but reading it 4 years later, it's crazy. Like, in the first half of the book, David Wilcock, and if you don't know who he is, he's right here. This is what he looked like. But if you don't know who he is a New York Times bestselling author of The Source Field Investigations. I haven't read that. The Synchronicity Key. I haven't read that. The Ascension Mysteries. And he also has another book called Awakening in the Dream, which I do have and I'm currently reading. He is a professional lecturer, filmmaker, and researcher of ancient civilizations, consciousness science, and new paradigms of matter and energy. Says he lives in California, but that was at the time of this book. He probably don't live there no more, or he might have multiple places he lives. But anyway, first half of the book, he's explaining his early life of having ESP, astral projecting, lucid dreaming, and things like that. And then the second half of the book, he's explaining, not explaining, but he's giving you the information that he received from insiders that were working with NASA, people in the highest levels of the government, like things of that nature. Damn, I started off so good. I don't know how to transition from that. But reading this, it talks about aliens, talks about civilizations on the moon, on other planets. It talks about a lot of stuff, but I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna let y'all read it. So I guess for like a basic review, well, it don't got to be a basic review, but for this review, I say it's a 10 out of 10. I really liked it. I will say something that surprised me was that I read in this chapter, it's the portal known as like a Stargate, and I believe it said it was found in like Nevada in like the early 1960s or 1940s, but the government had discovered it, found out what it was, And how it works is you type in a code, and the code is and when I was reading this and he mentioned the codes, and as I read it, I looked at the code, and if you're familiar with a router or internet, the code was actually like an IP address. And I'm reading the book and I'm like, dang, this looks like an IP address. And then as I finish reading the page, get down to the end, he's explaining that's how the government came up with IP addresses for routers and internet and things like that. Like, and I believe, I can't go to the exact page, I should have marked it, but I believe it's referred to as like DARPA. I can't give you the like DARPA stands for something, but I can't give you what it stands for. Just use Google. But basically that's where the government got it. But anyway, the Stargate is basically like a portal, and you type in, the IP address, the code, but you type it in, and then the portal will start up, and you can walk through it, and it'll take you to other planets, other worlds, like all that. And there's multiples of these Stargates around Earth. And as I was reading it, he was explaining that aliens have always been around, just like people have always been around, like for, I think they said like 500,000 years or something like that. Like, just, they've been around anyway. So aliens have been coming and going from this planet like all the time. And the government had found out what it was, and they took it or they transported it like to the bottom of the ocean in Antarctica, so whoever comes through would be like frozen. But the Stargate lets you know, like, before you enter it, it will let you know if like you'll be in danger or if you're going to die before you actually enter it and go to the other side. Like, it'll let you know. So, but that's not the only one. There's multiple Stargates all throughout the Earth and things of that nature. Sorry, I keep looking forward. People are walking by. But yeah, that's something that surprised me. Because I just assumed aliens, drive from planets on the UFOs, spacecrafts. All that is real, by the way. Aliens drive through on their spacecrafts and, just come to Earth and then leave back. But that's not the case. They come through on portals. There's different, they come through on portals, and they also can come through on spacecrafts too. But also there's, the government has, I don't know what you would call it, like an agreement or a treaty, but basically in exchange, like, okay, this lady just walked by with her ass out, hanging out. But anyway, like, the aliens gave us technology to use, and there's good aliens and there's bad aliens. I think some people think that all aliens are just evil, I guess, but there's good and bad, just like there are good and bad people. And the aliens gave the government technology, which they use, and they also can, like, called masking, but basically it turns the aircraft invisible, so you would never even know it was here. And I'm surprised we wouldn't like hear something like that, But in the book, he gives like all the facts, all the dates, like anything you try to argue, it's in this book, and you just got to read it with an open mind. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on the book. But to add, I also watched a movie that David Wilcock was in called Above Majestic, and it goes a lot more in depth about a lot of things. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can find Above Majestic on Tubi for free, actually. And I was watching that, and it was talking about how damn, where do I want to go? It was talking about how dang, I honestly can't remember where I was going. I got a little excited. But dang, Damn. All right, sorry. If I remember, I'll make a part 2 to the Ascension Mysteries, or I'll just go back and make another book review when I finish reading this other book. But I apologize, I forgot. I felt like it was something good too. But that's it for the book review. I hope you guys actually decide to read it, the Ascension Mysteries. And he has multiple other books. I'm probably going to go back and read the Source Field Investigations and Synchronicity Key once I finish Awakening in the Dream. But that's it for the book review. Hope you guys have a good day, week, month, years to come, and positivity. Oh, I remember. Right as I was finna end it, I remember. Okay, so in Above Majestic, they talked about mass meditations, and they talked about mass meditations and how if everyone on the world was happy for one day, like everyone in the entire world was happy for one day, it would change the outcome of the earth. Just having positive thoughts. And he was also saying, like, if you meditate and have positive thoughts, like your neighbor or somebody close by will pick up on that and they'll start to have positive thoughts. So it's all about just not having negative thoughts, not like anger, hatred, envy, like all that stuff. The evil aliens feed off of that. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because I don't know how deep I want to get into that. I didn't expect I don't want to make the video too long, but if that's something y'all want to get into, y'all want to hear me talk about, I wouldn't mind. Just let me know in the comments. But that's all for the book review. Appreciate y'all.